Picture this. You've got the warmth of the sun on your skin, soft sand right between your toes, and the rhythm of the ocean in the background. But instead of quiet isolation, boom, you're instantly surrounded by this incredibly vibrant, pulsating energy of human connection. Honestly, if you think a trip to the coast is just a quiet escape to, read a book in total silence, you might want to totally rethink that whole paradigm. In this explainer, we're taking a virtual trip to Brazil. We're going to explore their beaches not just as spots on a map, but as thriving, dynamic cultural hubs.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because globally, right, we usually view a beach day as a solitary sort of retreat. It's just you, your towel, maybe a quick dip in the water. It's very contained. But in Brazil, that expectation completely flips. Literally upside down. Down there, the beach isn't some quiet escape from society. It is a full-blown social event. Going to the beach is fundamentally about gathering. It's about connecting. It's basically the beating heart of community life, where the line between a public town square and a sandy shoreline just completely blurs away.
So, you're probably wondering, who exactly is attending this massive social event? Well, pretty much everyone. The beach is the absolute ultimate social space. We're talking families, groups of friends, couples, they all flock here. It's really the common denominator of Brazilian social life. Whether it's a huge extended family spending the whole weekend together, friends catching up on the latest gossip, or couples just soaking in the atmosphere, the sand acts as this giant democratic living room. It's where all these relationships are actively fostered and honestly celebrated.
And since it's the ultimate gathering space, what people actually do there stretches way, way beyond just getting your toes wet. People spend hours by the sea. I mean, this is not a quick dip and a mad dash back to the car. Not at all. It is a prolonged, all-day affair. So, what fills those hours? Well, it's a wildly rich, interactive, sensory experience. You've got the overlapping sounds of music, deep, animated conversations echoing over the waves, and of course, sharing genuinely amazing food. The ocean is just a beautiful backdrop, honestly. The human interaction, that's the main event.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the totally fascinating microeconomy that makes these incredibly long, luxurious days possible. Because think about it, you don't necessarily have to pack a massive, heavy cooler just to survive the day. The beach actually operates on this highly structured ecosystem to keep you constantly supplied. It's essentially divided into two distinct experiences. First, you have roving vendors who bring the entire market directly to your towel. And second, you've got stationary kiosks where you can retreat for a sit-down break when you need to escape that intense midday sun.
Let's zoom in on that roving economy for a second. All up and down the sand, there is this constant, moving parade of vendors. And the sheer variety of what they're offering is absolutely incredible. Realize you forgot eye protection from the blazing sun? Boom! They've got sunglasses and hats right there. Getting a little hungry or thirsty from all that intense conversation? No problem. Shrimp skewers and fresh ice-cold drinks are practically walking right up to you. It's a totally dynamic environment. The marketplace literally comes to you, making sure your social event isn't interrupted for even a split second.
Now, let's pivot a bit and see how this transitions into the stationary side of the whole beach experience. Sometimes you just want a bit of a change of pace from the hot sand, right? When that happens, you simply walk up from the shoreline and find one of the many small stands or kiosks to just sit and relax. These act as structured anchor points all along the beach. It's the perfect spot to gather with your group, pull up a chair, and order some amazing traditional Brazilian snacks. You get to enjoy all those local flavors without ever actually leaving the seaside vibe.
And hey, when we talk about traditional snacks here, we are talking about the absolute iconic staples of this daily ritual, specifically pastel and açaí. Imagine this, you're sitting back, looking out at the crashing ocean waves, and taking a massive bite of a crispy, savory, perfectly fried pastel. So good. Or maybe you're cooling down with a refreshing, incredibly vibrant bowl of açaí. These culinary details, they aren't just calories to keep you full. They're a vital, deeply celebrated piece of the Brazilian beach day that literally brings everyone around the table.
When you start combining all of this, the families laughing, the music playing everywhere, the roving vendors calling out their hot shrimp skewers, and those bustling kiosks serving up açaí, you get something truly special. So let's take a step back from the granular details of the snacks and the vendors for a minute to really appreciate the macro atmosphere. The beach transforms into this incredibly lively, colorful place. It is so much more than just a landscape of beige sand and blue water. It's a living canvas filled with motion, sound, and just an absolute kaleidoscope of human vibrancy. And this brilliantly illustrates a really profound insight. The beach isn't some separate, isolated bubble from the rest of the country's identity. Actually, it is a concentrated, pure reflection of the warmth and energy of Brazilian culture as a whole. That immense sociability, the deep, passionate love for music and good food, the vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. It is all on full display right there on the sand. Honestly, the beach is Brazil, just without his shoes on.
Which brings us to a fascinating final thought for you to consider today. Does your local beach reflect your culture's warmth and energy in the exact same way? Think about where you live. How do people in your community naturally gather? What public spaces serve as your ultimate social hub? Understanding how other cultures utilize their natural spaces can really truly open our eyes to our own surroundings. So keep learning, keep asking those big questions, and I'll see you in the next explainer.